some of the best Ken Block Gymkhana drift moments. Tragically, we lost Ken Block at the beginning of 2023, but his hoonigan spirit will definitely live on. And so will Gymkhana. His series of Gymkhana films have nearly 700 million views on YouTube alone. And something tells us those numbers aren't going to stop. Can you say billion? So in commemoration, let's take a look at some of Ken Block's most epic Gymkhana drifts. One of the most memorable moments of Gymkhana 2 is when Ken Block donuts around a guy shooting him with a paintball gun. The most impressive part of this scene is just how much control Ken had over his car. He showed us that he was the real deal. Gymkhana 2 had many defining moments, but this one showed us he was just so much more than a rally driver. He was about pushing the boundaries of what was possible with a car, and this video set the scene for the whole Gymkhana series that came after it. The Pikes Peak drift is one of Ken Block's most dramatic moves ever. Kicking up a huge cloud of dust, Ken slid the Hoonicorn Mustang over the very edge of a cliff, seemingly teetering off the edge. This unbelievable stunt took place in Colorado at Pikes Peak for its legendary Gran Turismo hill climb races. This is why this event was dubbed Gymkhana. And some of you may have seen that this year, his widowed wife Lucy and daughter Leah Block did beautiful runs up Pikes Peak. Leah's run with the Hoonipegasus was beautiful. Check out our video on that. Ken showing us how to drift on steep racing banks with his new Ford rally car is still one of the most amazing videos of all time. When Gymkhana 3 dropped in September 2010, it showed us that Ken was about pushing the envelope with every video, and his stunts were about showcasing new, exciting ways to power slide a rally car. This boosted his already fearless reputation from the second Gymkhana and further cemented his legacy that continued on. One of his most dangerous daredevil stunts was pulled off in Gymkhana 9 with his Ford Focus, donutting on a dock in Buffalo and grazing over the edge of the water. Block said, "There was nothing holding me back from going over the edge." Just in case. There was an oxygen kit in the car and a diving crew below in the water. The over-the-edge camera angle preserved the stunt beautifully. Another one of our favorite moments in Gymkhana history happened in Gymkhana 7, when Ken Block did donuts around the bouncing donk with the Hoonicorn in Los Angeles. It's like everything that makes Ken Block great came together in one place. The perfect car, the nail-biting stunt, and the skill of this legend. Ken's California love came out in this stunt. The Russian hill jump took place in San Francisco for Gymkhana 5. Block and his car were granted free access to the city and proceeded to defy gravity several times over. The jump, executed at Russian Hill of course, was the first stunt captured at the Gymkhana 5 gig, and it had a very, very small margin of error. Block landed it with just 70 feet of street to work with at very high speeds. It also harkened back to the classic bullet chase. Always a good move. Vertical switchbacks and the element of danger on China's most treacherous road drew the Hoonigan crew to Asia. The road goes straight up the Tiananmen Mountain in about 6 miles with 99 switchbacks and is so dangerous, driving is not permitted except on tour buses. Yeah, no thanks. But the crew was able to get sections of the Tiananmen Mountain Highway in Hunan Province cut off to shoot Gymkhana 2. In this daring act of driving, Block defied the laws of physics once again by making this insane high-speed turn on a crazy dangerous road, but it was not in the first take. The first try showed him crunching the front end of his 900 horsepower Ford Hoonigan truck into solid rock. Physics won that round.
Yeah, it was really disappointing to have that sort of damage to the truck.
Now let's see the successful take. Ah, yeah. Block realized Gymkhana 9 in 2016. But it's still one of the most talked about racing videos in the history of YouTube. What was so great about this video? Well, that would be the part where he narrowly dodges a train while power sliding and ramping over a train crossing. Duh. It was such a risky move, but Ken pulled it off with style and grace in his Ford Focus RS RX. It's a stunt that no one would dare replicate, and one that defines the king of Gymkhana. Once a snowmobile accident caused Ken to shuffle off his mortal coil in January of 2023, about a year ago at the time of writing, most thought the era of Gymkhana was over. But Ken had one more trick up his posthumous sleeve, Electrikhana 2. Filmed before his death and released in December 2023, the Audi S1 Hoonitron was Ken's weapon of choice and Mexico City was his battleground. Frankly, we can't pick a best drift from Electrikhana 2. All we want to do is bask in Ken's automotive revelry one last time. Thanks for letting us live vicariously through you for all these years, Ken. Thanks for watching a Ken Block video from hotcars.com. Check out our website for all your automotive needs and a whole lot more Hoonigan and Ken Block content. Adios!